counting down the minutes to the first pitch of today's game.
Yes!
Who's in the starting lineup?
Come on, son. You got to get out there and take the mound. It's game time.
What does the skipper have to say?
It's an attitude. You got to be willing to defend. You got to be willing to base run, or you can't play here.
It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook with Tommy Wortz on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
I told you I wasn't going anywhere on the last episode. Welcome in to the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here with you. Steve Sparky Fifer down at Kelly's Bleachers. Thanks to our good friends over at Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Game 1, NLCS, Milwaukee Brewers, LA Dodgers. Aaron Ashby on the bump for Milwaukee, going up against Blake Snell of the Dodgers. 7:08 first pitch from American Family Field. The NLCS roster. One change. Nick Mears out. Tobias Myers in. Let's go over the rest of it with the starting lineups.
Looking up, and it is gone.
It's almost time for the first pitch. Let's see who's in today's starting lineups. Brought to you by Lakeland University. Experience it your way. Visit lakeland.edu. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Thanks again to Lakeland University for being a part of the leadoff show all season long. Starting off first with the visiting Dodgers. A little bit of a shift in their lineup. Leading off, DH Shohei Ohtani batting second. The shortstop Mookie Betts batting third. The right fielder Teoscar Hernandez batting fourth. In the cleanup spot at first base, it'll be Freddie Freeman. Will Smith, the catcher, will bat fifth. Tommy Edman, the second baseman, bats sixth. Max Muncy at third base, batting seventh today. Batting eighth, it'll be Kike Hernandez in left field, and Andy Pajes in center field to round things out for the Dodgers. Now for the Milwaukee Brewers, Jackson Chourio leading off in right field today. Christian Yelich, the DH, will bat second. William Contreras is catching, batting third. Bryce Terang bats fourth at second base. Andrew Vaughn at first base will bat fifth. Sal Frelick in center field will bat sixth. Caleb Durbin is the third baseman, batting seventh. Isaac Collins in left field will bat eighth. And rounding things out, the shortstop, Joey Ortiz. We'll now bring in our guy, Steve Sparky Fifer, who is down at Kelly's Bleachers right now. How's it going down over there? It sounds packed right now, Sparky.
It is. I just tweeted out a picture, actually, at Sparky Radio. If you want to go check it out, it is packed in here. And you know what the great thing about this is? No Cubs fans here at Kelly's Bleachers tonight. Not a single Cubs fan in the audience. I don't see a single Cubs fan. They're all at home probably watching the Bears tonight, watch another one of their teams lose.
You would have thought there would have been at least one Cubs fan in Dodgers gear today down over there. No Dodgers fans either?
No, I don't know. I see a Pirates jersey.
Oh, of course. Yeah, that makes most
there's
sense.
a Dodgers fan sitting in front of the studio or in front of the speaker here. I didn't see him because I'm in the DJ booth and I couldn't see over our speaker. So there's one Dodger fan here.
One Dodger fan.
The rest, all Brewers fans here at Kelly's Bleachers on Bluemont. Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea, have one of those two when you're out here, 100 calories, no bubbles, just deliciousness. So definitely want to take advantage of that too. I'm more surprised that there's a Pirates fan here more than anything else, if I'm being honest.
I agree. That doesn't make much sense. I guess you're just like stuck in Milwaukee and you don't want to root for the Brewers if you're a Pirates guy, and you rep your team, man.
I forgot who it was, but I saw somebody, forgot who she worked with, but she was with one of the Boston TV stations or radio stations. And she said, hey, am I right? Are we all rooting for Milwaukee and Seattle now the rest of the way? That's in Boston. So from my perspective, maybe, just maybe, this Brewers team has the entire country rooting for them right now outside of LA.
I don't hate that take. I think that you'll see that they will turn pretty quickly on the coast, and they will probably lean in with. I remember, so I was out in California during the Bucks run, the 2021 Bucks run, right? And like, we're Milwaukee, that we never win anything, and we're like root for the underdog. I was the only guy not rooting for the Suns out there, man. They were all in on Chris Paul getting a ring. I was like, screw Chris Paul, man. After all that series and what went down, like, again, outnumbered immensely. So that's why I have all the coastal bias in my game already. But
I mean, that's a little bit different. I mean, Chris Paul was with the Clippers and so forth, and there's that love affair with a guy that was on your team that could never
on the
win.
second most famous team in LA? Like, what are we talking about?
Let's just be honest here. There's nobody on this Dodgers team anybody's rooting for. Now, if Mike Trout was here this year, right, then I think maybe you'd have a lot of people rooting for Mike Trout to win one with the Dodgers on the way out. Okay, then I think it changes. But most of these guys that are on this Dodgers team were on this Dodgers team that won a World Series. So there's not going to be any of that stuff going on. The Brewers have never won a World Series in the history of the organization.
And the Mariners have never been there.
The entire country is rooting for the Milwaukee Brewers outside of LA. I'm telling you right now, everybody wants the Brewers to beat the Dodgers.
Yeah, I look, we'll take all the support. We'll take all the love out here. No, Lord knows that they feed off of that. The fans were awesome in the series at American Family Field, and the Brewers unable to pick up a road victory, but were undefeated in the NLDS at home. That Game 5, Sparky, just to touch on it a little bit, I mean, that was awesome. That felt amazing. And to your point, turns out home runs play in October, right? I mean, they needed homers to win the game. They didn't play really Brewer ball, if you will, where they're getting on base and running around and causing havoc. It was the guys, Andrew Vaughn, William Contreras, Bryce Terang, who have been hitting home runs all second half that led them into their October victory and now have charged them into the NLCS.
Let me counter that. They played Brewers ball at all in that series? Did they steal bases at all in that series?
No, they didn't steal bases at all. Yeah.
You can argue they didn't play Brewers ball to win that series to begin with against the Chicago Cubs. Now, will they play Brewers ball here, or will they continue to play the way the Dodgers and everybody else plays? In my opinion, they have got to start pressing a little bit more, pressing to get the extra base, taking advantage and trying to get a stolen base. And if you get out, you get out. But that's how you got here. That's how you won. And if everybody's going to call this David versus Goliath, even though you have the most wins in Major League Baseball, well, by God, play the way you did to get to the most wins in Major League Baseball. Have that style of ball. Don't get tight now and be like, oh, well, if we hit 3 home runs, we're going to win. That's not how you got here. Don't change who you are now when you're in the NLCS.
It is the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz, Steve Sparky, Fifer getting you caught up. All things NLCS Game 1, Brewers and Dodgers. We will have Scott Grodzki join the program at 5:40. Of course, Austin Herdina over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. If you want to get some of the best bets at 6:20, and our guy Mitch Thunder Nellis down at American Family Field at 6:40. Packed show here, 2 hours of pregame coverage for Brewers and Dodgers NLCS game number 1. Looking at the lineup right away, Sparky, just want to look at the counter moves here. First, the roster, first and foremost, before we get to the lineup. Tobias Myers in, Nick Mears out. What was your reaction to seeing that? Because I thought Nick Mears had a lot of opportunity to super impress during this series, and maybe he was a little timid, and maybe there was a back or something. Like, there's all the reasons to point away, but the Brewers saying that pretty much they're going to go with length in the bullpen in relief, as opposed to Mears, who has been strictly a one-inning guy, it feels like, all this season.
I think from my perspective, it was a little bit of surprise. I mean, has there been anybody more in the Pat Murphy doghouse from the beginning of the year than Tobias Myers has been to this point?
Yeah.
I mean, all season long, we've seen this. So to say, I trust you now, I trust that you're going to go do the job correctly. I trust that you're going to prepare correctly. I trust that you're going to go out there and give me a couple of quality innings if I need it. That's a big leap from where we were in April with Tobias Myers and Pat Murphy and how they were not on the same page. And Tobias Myers was in the minor leagues trying to get his way back to the major leagues. That happened multiple times, not just once, multiple times he was sent back down. That is a big, big story, I think, going into this thing. Now the question is, where does he pitch? When does he pitch, right? So are you setting Tobias Myers out there as a second guy behind an opener in LA? Because if the thought is Quinn Priester is tonight, according to Pat Murphy, it's 71% chance that it's Quinn Priester?
Yep.
Okay, so if Priester is tonight, then I would assume that Peralta obviously is tomorrow. We know that. Game 3 then is what? Quintana. Game 4 is Mizorowski. And then you go back to the front again with Ashby and Priester, and then maybe back to Peralta for game, what would that be? Game 6? And then whatever they do with game 7. Maybe Tobias Myers doesn't have to start a game. Maybe Tobias Myers doesn't have to be the second guy in a game. Maybe use him in different situations than what maybe people are thinking.
I don't know if I have faith that Jose Quintana is going to start a game. I feel like he had opportunities to do that in the DS and especially with that lefty-heavy lineup in Chicago, would have made sense to have him at least come in at a certain point to start the game, and it never happened. I think the Brewers are going to be rocking out there with one true starter the rest of this postseason, and it's Freddie Peralta. After that, there is going to be roles. Who's going to go more than 4 innings other than Freddie in this rotation? No one, right?
Well, I mean, that's the thing here, though, right? So if you're going to start somebody, if let's say you start the Miz, he did not rule that out, by the way, did Pat Murphy.
No.
If Mizorowski is going to be the guy that's going to start, if you have dominant Jacob Mizorowski, he can go 5 or 6.
Sure.
You feel really good about
Same
yourself.
with Quintana,
right?
too. Yeah,
Quintana's a vet. He's pitched in the postseason. A crowd in LA ain't going to scare Jose Quintana from not pitching well like it did Priester. So from that perspective, you have guys you can turn to. Is their name Brandon Woodruff? No. Would you feel much better about this series if you had Brandon Woodruff? Yes. But unfortunately, according to Pat Murphy, Woodruff hasn't even started throwing yet, which means you can probably cross out any type of World Series appearance as well from Brandon Woodruff.
What about Logan Henderson? Did that name intrigue you at all?
That's who I wanted. Yeah. That's who I was hoping for. I was hoping they were going to pull a rabbit out of the hat and Logan Henderson magically was going to appear. And here you go, buddy. You're going to go start game 3 or 4. Now, maybe he, wasn't ready because he's coming off of that injury. I don't know where his throwing program is. Maybe they stopped because they didn't plan on pitching him. I have no idea. I would assume he's on that taxi squad. But either way, so maybe that's it. B, they learned their lesson from Quinn Priester and said, nope, we are not putting another young guy out there to start on the road. That blew up on us last time. We'll go with the vet and Tobias Myers over the rookie and Logan Henderson. Maybe that was it too. But for my money, I would have loved to see what Logan Henderson looked like starting a game for the Brewers, providing, he was going to be able to give you more than, 3 innings or 4 innings somewhere in that area, because Logan Henderson can get people out.
Yeah, and strike people out, which turned out to be very important, and everyone knows that's important in the postseason as well. We saw some great performances. Chad Patrick is a guy that I feel like needs to get all the credit in the world for what he did in the NLDS. This is a guy who was not on the opening day roster. The only reason he comes onto that series was because of injury. Then he works his butt off all season long, very similar to a Quinn Priester, Jacob Mizorowski, a Logan Henderson, all pretty much required to figure it out on the fly, as Pat Murphy would say, and then has a pretty solid and productive season that the record doesn't really show how great he pitched. And then he gets his moment in the NLDS where he's coming out in relief, had a perfect NLDS, and man, that's the most emotion we had seen out of Chad Patrick at all. When he strikes him out on that cutter that comes backside, that was just awesome to see out of a young guy like Chad Patrick, who is a rookie, but is one of the older rookies, right? He's 27 or something like that on this team. So he's pitched in the bigs this season. He was the Triple Crown winner for the AAA season last year. It was awesome to be able to see that Chad Patrick gets to cement his history with the Brewers in the NLDS.
How crazy is this team going to be next year? And think of everything we're talking about.
Yeah.
Mizorowski's going to pitch in the NLCS. He's on this team next year. Patrick's going to pitch in the NLCS. He's on this team next year. Freddie Peralta, if they don't trade him, he's on this team next year. Woodruff is screwed. So maybe they get Woodruff back as well before this whole thing is said and done on another prove-it year or with another option for year 2. Who knows how that goes? But there's a chance you have Brandon Woodruff back. Logan Henderson, we talked about him. He's going to probably be in this rotation next year as well. Priester is back. You have him under control for a long time. He is back. How can you not smile and giggle and go, okay, look, if this doesn't go right, if this doesn't go the way we want against the Dodgers, man, we're still going to rock this world next year. And next year, we'll be in even a better position next year than we are this year. And Tommy, what if Made's on this team by the time we get to September next year? What if Jesus Made is at third base next year, sitting there I got this. I want this.
You just keep trying to.
Let's go play.
You just want to write off Caleb Durbin every time he does something, man.
He's a great utility player.
He had
great utility player
on a fantastic game. In Game 5, he was picking it over at third. He stole the base too. Didn't ultimately lead to anything, but he had a great day, and I love what his game brings. And it is.
I will say this: if it was me, if I had my druthers, and everybody's going, no, I don't want to do that. If I had my druthers, Bryce Terang's at shortstop, Durbin's at second, Made's at third by September, not in spring training. This is not going to happen in spring training, so don't go blow me up and be like, you're going to be there in spring training. Made at third. If we get to September next year and that's the infield, right, now you've got bats everywhere, especially if Vaughn is still going. Contreras, that outfield is set. Who knows where Garrett Mitchell is? If Garrett Mitchell is on this team or not, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see. But that guy, when healthy, is showing he's got to stick too.
Yeah.
So they are set up, man, for a long time to come under Matt Arnold and Pat Murphy.
It is the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here in the fan studios while Sparky down over at Kelly's Bleachers. Thanks to our good friends
in the better spot.
over at, oh yeah, I'm jealous. I wish you could have gotten I could have gotten down there. But bringing up the outfield, first of all, how many people just totally forgot about Garrett Mitchell, right? I mean, that guy hasn't been on the team, hasn't been a thought for a long time right now with his injury. Isaac Collins getting the start in NLCS Game 1 now, too, in place of Blake Perkins. They move around the outfield. Sal Frelick's in center field. Jackson Churio in right field. Collins pretty quiet in the NLDS and has been since he had the kid, and they were in Chicago in that series all the way back in August, I believe, or late August, early September. When was that now? All the dates mixing up.
I believe.
Yeah. He needs to step it up a little bit now. He is a guy that when he was humming and he was at his best, that's when this team could figure it out. And they're putting a different bat at that bottom part of the order because they know how important it is and how productive they can be if that bottom part of the order is on their game. Sparky.
Does Christian Yelich suck defensively? I mean, it's like he's
yes.
like one of the worst defenders in baseball. Like, where does he rank defensively? I'd like to know. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't think he sucks. I think he's probably average defensively at this point. Versus Jackson Churio, who's hamstring, which has bothered him, which he says is getting better. They say is getting better. Maybe, but you continue to run. And Ron Darling, who, again, we're stuck with for another series, I understand.
God.
But even he has pointed out he's not opening it up. You can clearly see he's not opening it up. I agree with you that he's not open. That one ball that dropped in front of him, the last game, he would have had that. Like, easily would have had that.
Even the double play.
So he had to pull up and stop.
He hit into a double play that you feel like if he's at 100%, he probably beats that out too. You can definitely tell that the hamstring is not at full strength for our guy, Jackson Churio.
So I want to go back to Isaac Collins here because you brought him up. I just brought that up because this whole Churio in the outfield and Yelich just sitting there at DH is a mystery to me when you have Churio that's banged up. But either way, the Isaac Collins thing, I mean, this is going to sound crazy. I think I'd ask him to bunt first time up. I don't care if there's runners on or not, and see if he can beat it on with his speed. You have to do something to get him going. I kind of attribute this to, say, a basketball player that's struggling, right? And you have the point guard. And the point guard's job is get this dude going. You have to get him going, right? If that's Giannis, get him a 5-footer. Let him get an easy basket. Let him see the ball go in to the basket to get his confidence up.
Yeah.
The Brewers have to figure out, how do I get Isaac Collins on base, one way or the other, right? Get him on base, get the confidence going, and go. Because I really think Isaac Collins is one hit away from busting out and being the player he was earlier. And if that happens, watch out, Dodgers, because that changes this offense dramatically, taking Perkins' bat out and putting Isaac Collins' bat in. This dude was at one point a consideration for rookie of the freaking year prior to that kid being born. So he can do it. We've seen him do it. Now we just need to see him do it here in the postseason.
On top of that, one more note beforehand, just to go off of your Christian Yelich take. You might, I don't want it to sound off strictly because I am this guy's number one fan, but if Yelich could play the outfield, you know how awesome it'd be to have Vaughn and Bowers in the lineup together against a righty. Like, that creates pop. That creates a little bit more fear. The Brewers have just been facing a bunch of lefties this whole series, so that never really has added up. But when Jake Bauers got his moment, you know, he picked up 2 hits. He had an RBI single. He had the homer. And if you're not going to have Rhys Hoskins on this roster, which everyone knew going into it, like, you did that because you kept Jake for the power. You kept Vaughn for the power. Not that Vaughn was really in any sort of discourse on he would or wouldn't be on the team, but again, if Christian Yelich could play the outfield and could just play an average outfield, it would make that decision a lot easier, Spark.
I think that's absolutely correct. And that's the thing. I don't know what his metrics are. I would have to look. I'm sorry. I'm not saying Christian Yelich is a gold glover. Not saying that at all. I know he's not. I'm not saying he's got the strongest arm on the team. He does not have one of the strongest arms on the team. But for the most part, he's not going to make a boneheaded mistake. He's not going to over-pursue and miss a ball or take some ill-advised diving attempt at a ball, trying to play hero ball and let the ball get past him to the backstop. But you have to determine what is more important to you at this point. Is it more important to get another bat in the lineup in the DH to have Yelich out there? So really then the debate becomes Isaac Collins or Jake Bauers or Blake Perkins. Those are the debates that you're having versus what you want to do with this lineup and where Yelich plays. And clearly they would rather go the way they're going to keep Yelich healthy at this point. But the season's over. It does not matter at this point. Yelich should be able to play a couple games in the outfield without getting himself hurt.
Baseball calls for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea made with real iced tea and real vodka. It's refreshingly smooth, easy to drink, no bubbles to fill you up. It is the perfect game day sipper. Plus, each Sun Cruiser only 100 calories and 4.5% alcohol, making it perfect for anywhere your watch party takes you. Crack one open today and let the good times cruise Milwaukee. Please drink responsibly. On the other side, let's get into a little bit of the eye on the enemy feature. Blake Snell pitching today for the Los Angeles Dodgers. He spoke to the media yesterday. I want to play some of that for you guys. On the other side, thanks to our good friends over at Iron Workers Local 8 for being a part of the leadoff show all season long. Tommy Wortz, Steve Sparky Fifer, as he is live from Kelly's Bleachers with our good friends over at Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. It is the leadoff show live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Looking up, and it is gone.
It's almost time for the first pitch. Let's see who's in today's starting lineups. Brought to you by Lakeland University. Experience it your way. Visit lakeland.edu. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 1057 FM, The Fan.
Welcome back to the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here with you. Steve Sparky Fifer down at Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mound. Brewers lineup, in case you missed it earlier in the show. Jackson Churio in right field to lead things off. Christian Yelich, the DH, will bat second. William Contreras is catching, batting third. Bryce Terang at second base bats fourth. Andrew Vaughn at first base will bat fifth. Sal Frelick in center field will bat sixth. Caleb Durbin is the third baseman, batting seventh today. Isaac Collins in left field bats eighth. Rounding things out at the shortstop position, it is Joey Ortiz. I know you guys probably making your way over to Kelly's Bleachers, making your way over to American Family Field. A little update on what's going on with the traffic situation, Mr. Spark.
That's right. The Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line always open for y'all. 414-677-1250. 414-677-1250. From the 414, anyone coming in from the west, traveling eastbound on I-94 to the game today. Huge multi-car accident right at Highway J. Best to get off before Highway 16 freeway is shut down. It looks really bad from the 414. So, again, anyone coming in from the west, traveling eastbound on I-94 to the game today, it's according to this person texting, a multi-car accident right at Highway J. So best to get off before Highway 16 freeway. It looks like it's going to be shut down. Looks bad. So that is the first thing. The second thing coming in from the 414, a different person. Yelich is a Gold Glover, though. We were talking about Yelich not being a Gold Glover. Yeah, in 2014.
Right,
with
long
the
time
Marlins.
ago. Yeah.
That's great. He was a finalist in 22 with Ian Happ and David Peralta. I'm telling you right now, if we're talking, again, that Gold Glove, just to further exemplify something else, you have to hit to win that award 9 times out of 10 as well. So that's also part of it. But I promise you, if you took a poll of league executives of the best defensive outfielders in baseball, Christian Yelich's name is not going to appear on the list.
Not even close. Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line 414-677-1250. Ken in the Falls, how we doing today, Ken?
I am just doing fabulous. I was just down in the area there. I had to, for a number of reasons, had to get out of there. But going westbound on 94, if you're coming in on 94, good luck to you. It's bumper to bumper, 2 lanes all the way coming in. So a bad deal traffic-wise that way, too. Everybody wants to get to the stadium. With that being said, how about these Brewers in the NLCS? Come on now.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can't repay the Dodgers from when Greg was running the team and put it to him and put him away this time and actually get into the World Series for the first time as Milwaukee, or actually for the second time as Milwaukee Brewers, but and win the damn thing. So it's going to be an exciting series. I'm looking forward to this one. I got the Brewers in 5. I don't know what people are picking them, but I just like the Brewers in 5. Too many of the national media say this is too big of a challenge for the Brewers. I call nonsense on that. The Brewers have had their way with the Dodgers this year. However, it is the playoffs and things change and teams change and so on and so forth. So do players. And, you know, they're going to pitch Ohtani. Yes, okay, great. But this Brewer team they weren't the best team in baseball because they got lucky. They're the best team in baseball because of what they do under Pat Murphy and how they trust in each other. So this is going to be a great series. I still look for the Brewers in 5. I'll stand by that. Brewers will win the first 3, lose 1 in L.A., and win the 5th game in L.A., so they don't have to come back to Milwaukee until the World Series.
That would be awesome. Ken, have a good rest of your day, my friend. Go Brewers.
Go Brewers, baby.
There he is, Ken in the Falls, jumping off the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line 414-677-1250 if you want to be a part of the show.
Line drive, base hit, down the left field line.
Let's see what the skipper has to say heading into today's game. Let's head to the Coach's Corner. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 1057 FM. The Fan. Nobody likes them.
Craig Counsell returning to American Family Field.
We all want to see them lose.
It's not my job to tell people how to feel about something or even to figure it out. like let people feel how they want to feel, and I'm good with that, and I think it doesn't have to be all positive.
It's time to eye up the enemy for today's game. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM. The Fan.
You hit the wrong button when they're right next to it. Just try to make it sound as smooth as possible when you can. Eye on the Enemy, presented by Ironworkers Local 8. Thanks again to Ironworkers Local 8 for being a part of the Leadoff Show. Want to play you some of Blake Snell from speaking to the media earlier yesterday on his availability, talking about this Brewers team and how maybe he's not buying into this average Joe's mentality of the Milwaukee Brewers.
Like, this is a lineup that prides itself on putting the ball in play. Just kind of take me through what you can of how that matches up with your strengths heading into game one.
Yeah, I was able to watch last night's game, so that was fun. They feed off each other. It's a very energetic lineup. They're really good. Yeah, like you said, they put the ball in play. So you make them swing at your pitches. You figure out what they're good at, what they're not good at, and I'll just tell you how to attack them. I can't say like too much because they're gonna watch this, or you would intend that they would, but. Yeah, I mean it's a really good lineup. I'm not falling for the average Joes that they're not. I never once thought. I mean, they got the best record in the NL. They're a really good team.
Steve Sparky Fifer down at Kelly's Bleachers, thanks to our good friends over at Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Blake Snell not buying into the average Joe's narrative anymore. How could you? You're the team that got beat 6-0 in Los Angeles, in Milwaukee. Whenever you played this team, they shouldn't be falling for that. And quite frankly, I don't think the Brewers should be leaning into it as much. I think that this team is a damn good team. I think this team will find multiple ways to win. And I think that this team knows that they have way above average pitching. If they do want to call it average Joes at this time, they can only point to their bats right now. The pitching has led them up enough into the NLDS and beating a really good Cubs team that average Joe's is out the window now in my mind.
Yeah, Pat Murphy, when he talked to his team, we're now the above average Joes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Dave Roberts, the Dodgers manager today, was asked about this whole David versus Goliath thing of Pat Murphy talking about. Murphy saying that the Dodgers couldn't name 8 players on their team and so forth. Really just like doing what he's done all year, right? And Dave Roberts like, yeah, we know the act. And it is an act, and I'm sick of it. I've been sick of it for quite some time. And listen, it's not that I don't like Pat Murphy. I love Pat Murphy. But I hate downplaying how good this team is. I hate downplaying how talented this team is. It drives me absolutely nuts. I've been complaining about this for 2 months, that I'm done with this. Just stop. Like, you don't have to say, okay, I'm not going to do it anymore. Just don't do it. Just don't talk about it anymore. Just go forward and talk, because this is what's going to happen. Next year, when they either win the World Series, lose the World Series, win the NLCS, lose the LCS, however this ends, this crap of average Joes and all this, we're not that good, all that goes out the window because you return pretty much everybody. So I don't want to hear about this next year. I don't know what he's going to make up next year. I don't think they need to hear this to get them motivated. They know they won 97 games. They know they're the best team in baseball by record coming into this thing. You can talk all you want about this, but it's worn old on me months ago. So, yes, I'm fine if he doesn't do this anymore, but this is his shtick. He's Lou Holtz of baseball, apparently, and this is how he's going to play going forward.
I think that the narrative of average Joes is supposed to just keep everyone grounded as a person, as an individual, right? And to really just continue to say, hey, the average Joes from that movie, right? None of them in dodgeball were the best dodgeball player, but they were the best dodgeball team at the end of it, right? That's what
we're using a dodgeball movie reference. That's what we're using.
They are called
That's
the
what this
average
is about.
Joes. That is the name of the dodgeball team. I'm not saying that we should predict this is going to be like the average Joes in the dodgeball tournament, but I'm telling you that this Brewers team, the effort to call them that, to humble everyone as an individual, is meant to provide, hey, you are important to this team. You are important to this nucleus here, and focus on that. Do not focus on your play. focus on the team's play and what you can do for your job as a member of this team.
I better not hear when they lose, if they lose at some point, I better not hear, well, they were the much more talented team. We knew that coming in. I was just happy to get to where we are. It's great job by our team to win 97 games. Great job by our team to get to the NLCS.
But they're going to say
we all
this
knew
is
the
like
Dodgers were a more talented team, so it's okay.
You're just like providing coach speak if you lose a series. That's what everyone says. That's not what this team would say.
He is setting this up. I'm telling you, he's setting this up to have that out at the end of the day and go, hey, I'm just glad we got here. Like, we never should have been this far. I don't know how we won these many games.
Okay.
That's exactly what he's doing to set it up, which is sad, really, if you think about it. But it is what it is. I don't want them to lose. I don't want to have to listen to him try and justify losing. I would rather them just win the whole damn thing and change baseball. That's what I want.
Coming up, we're going to talk to Scott Grodzki, CBS 58. He was at all 5 games, back there again today to talk a little bit more about this Milwaukee Brewers team as they're getting ready for the NLCS Game 1 against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Aaron Ashby to open for Milwaukee, going up against Blake Snell, who I assume will pitch more than Aaron Ashby in this contest. It is the leadoff show.
Well, hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully they run him out of the first inning and he's gone into the night.
It would be perfect. It would be great.
Yes.
I'm just saying that the plan is probably not going to be pitching longer than Blake Snell for both guys on this. It is the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz in the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, while Steve Sparky Fifer is enjoying his time over at Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mound. You still got shirts, a bunch of swag to hand out over there?
The Euchre Magic shirts, no longer. Those have gone. People are getting here early. Like, this place started filling up by about 3:30. I would say we were about halfway to 3/4 full. Now it's completely full. But still, there's still room for if you want to come and stay and have a couple of beverages. I think there might be one table by the window maybe open that I can see. Everything else is pretty much full. But come hang out, watch all the TVs here. And again, Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Do you know what the nice thing is? 100 calories, no bubbles, deliciousness, right? I've had multiple people walk by the DJ booth here, hold up their Sun Cruiser to me to show me that they're drinking it, then grab a shirt or a hat because they like it so much, and then go sit back down again. Again, we're changing people's lives out here at Kelly's Bleachers, changing people's lives, making dedicated fans of Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea like only we can, Tommy. That's your name, Tommy, right? Tommy.
Yep, you got it. It's been a couple of days. It's been a couple of days since you called me Charlie.
Listen to me, my own kids. I will try 3 names, and after 3, I'll go, you know what your name is.
Yeah.
And I just give up because if I can't remember it after 3 names, then I'm not going to remember it at all.
I know, you're old. It's fine. I don't plan on getting old. I don't plan on
Thank you.
Yeah, so I won't have to deal with it. Scott Grodzki coming up next on the leadoff show, live from the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Looking up, and it is gone.
It's almost time for the first pitch. Let's see who's in today's starting lineups. Brought to you by Lakeland University. Experience it your way. Visit lakeland.edu. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Welcome back to the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz, Steve Sparky Fifer here with you. I'm in the Fan Studios while Sparky's down at Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mound. Lineup, in case you missed it, for Milwaukee earlier in the show. Jackson Churio in right field leading things off. Christian Yelich, the DH, will bat second. William Contreras is catching, batting third. Bryce Terang at second base bats fourth today. Andrew Vaughn batting fifth at first base. Sal Frelick in center field will bat sixth. Caleb Durbin bats seventh, plays third base. Isaac Collins in left field will bat eighth. Rounding things out for the Crew, it is Joey Ortiz. He is the shortstop today, batting ninth. Joining us now on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. He is at CBS 58 covering all things Wisconsin sports, but has been busy on the Brewers game right now. Scott Grodsky here today. Scott, how we doing?
I'm good. It's pretty much the only show in Wisconsin sports right now is the Brewers. As much as the Packers get a little bit of attention on Sunday, honestly, I kind of forgot that game was even happening until we got there.
I completely understand. Scott, you're down at American Family Field. We're going to play some audio later on in the show from the manager, Pat Murphy. But what is it feeling like with the CS now here? They get through the NLDS. They take down the Chicago Cubs. Now it's like, hey, you're at the big stage now here. National media is running the credentials and whatnot. How does it feel in the vibes of American Family Field for Game 1 of the NLCS?
Vibes are pretty good right now. I actually just did a lap around the entire stadium. I'm at the Euchre statue now outside near home plate. But as a pretty good crowd for how early it is before the game has already started. There's a couple of new tents set up for national media and for hospitality and all that good stuff. It's definitely going to be a slightly different crowd nationally with that kind of stuff. But otherwise, everything's set up real nicely, and it's very nice to not have to play the game in my head of, all right, that's 10 Brewers jerseys to 1 Cubs jersey, 15 here to 1. It's nice to not have to worry about that. Haven't seen a single Dodgers one yet.
Yeah, that's good to know.
You'll see some Dodger fans coming because there's one
I'm
here.
sure we will.
At Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mound, there's one. No Cub fans though, Scott. No Cub fans here at Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mound.
No Cubs fans should be welcome at any point. But
yes.
No, I've been to enough of these games when he was with the Angels and then with the Dodgers too. There's always going to be some Dodgers fans, and frankly, there are going to be some just Shohei Ohtani fans. But so far, all Brewers.
Scott, Game 1 coming up here between the Brewers and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Wanted to get your take, your thoughts on another opener with Aaron Ashby going in Game 1. I know we heard from Pat Murphy saying that probably about a 71 to 73% chance Quinn Priester going to pitch today as well. But your reaction to the Brewers going with another opener as opposed to a starter for the NLCS Game 1?
Yeah, I heard that. I'd love to know from Pat what the 27 to 29% is that can change that plan. To me, it makes perfect sense to have that be the way it goes, of Ashby for 1 inning and then bring in Priester. Ashby hasn't been phenomenal in the playoffs, but he was pretty darn consistent throughout the entirety of the regular season. I think he's a guy who the Brewers certainly trust. And then with Quinn Priester, you're able to get him into as good a situation as you're going to in the NLCS. It's always going to be a huge stage. It's always going to be against a very good lineup from start to finish with the Dodgers. But in theory, by having Ashby throw the first, you're avoiding Priester having to face Shohei Ohtani in the first inning. And you're able to have a guy who clearly, as Murphy said, the moment got to him a little bit when he was pitching in his hometown stadium at Wrigley Field in the playoffs. This way, he doesn't have to have as much pressure. There's not that first inning rush of, oh my God, we're starting the NLCS. The game is already going to be a little bit underway. He'll be in front of the home fans. I think given how the start went for Priester in Chicago, I think this is as good of a landing spot as possible for him to get in, get a few innings. No one's going to be expecting him to throw the second through the eighth. If he throws 1 full time through the order, maybe 1 and change, that's fine. The Brewers have a lot of length in their bullpen. It's part of why they have Tobias Myers in there. instead of Nick Mears for this series. So he doesn't need to go out there and be a hero. He needs to have one clean time through.
Hey, Scott, I got a question for you. How concerned are you about this idea of, okay, we're going to have a bunch of bullpen games outside of Freddie Peralta starting game 2. The rest are bullpen games. That's the thought process here with everybody, in Milwaukee and outside of Milwaukee. This bullpen was pretty much the most used bullpen in Major League Baseball coming into the postseason of the teams that were in the postseason. How concerned are you that eventually this thing could fall apart here as these guys continue to get worked more and more and more?
I'm not super concerned by it. Yes, it was extremely used bullpen, but a part of that is because it was an extremely effective bullpen. I think whether you do a bullpen game or a traditional starter or opener or whatever, there's always going to be challenges with this Dodgers lineup. They have, 3 MVPs, including the best player in the world. So there's always going to be concerns with it no matter how you go. My guess is that you'll see a more traditional starter in Quintana in game 3, but, we'll see how the first 2 games go. It would be a concern for me if you're relying on bullpen games if these teams were switched. The Dodgers do not have a good bullpen, and they have great starters. The Brewers, you kind of got to do – you got to play the hand you're dealt, and it's different if Brandon Woodruff is healthy. It's different if it's a few years ago and Corbin Burns is here. They don't have the horses to necessarily throw traditional 6-inning starters in all of these games. So I think it's very important that tomorrow they get a lot out of Freddie. They can't really afford to have him pitch 3 innings and be done. But otherwise, looking up and down this bullpen, other than Koenig and Uribe, who already has more than 1 inning save, but other than a couple of those guys, pretty much everyone in that bullpen can throw 3 innings, 4 innings, 5 innings. So if anyone is equipped to do multiple bullpen games in the playoffs, it is this team in this bullpen.
Scott Grodzki, CBS 58, joining us here on the leadoff show. Got about 2 minutes here, Scott, but one more thing for you. Isaac Collins back in, no Blake Perkins. The Brewers trying something else out new in NLCS Game 1. Where do you look to in the lineup for that team?
Yeah, I was surprised to see that, to be honest. I think it'd be one thing if it was August when Collins was absolutely on fire. To me, I think that I would probably have left Perkins in there and keep the defense. But, it's just going to be a matter of whether or not they can string hits together at the right time. They're not going to have a ton of opportunities against Snell. They're going to probably have to score a little bit in the later innings once you get into that Dodgers bullpen. But this is a team that has proven throughout the year they can win any number of ways, whether it's through singles and speed or through home runs like they did in the last game against the Cubs. I think that the lineup is a lot better than it gets credit for. And that includes, how I thought about this team in the start of the year. I certainly didn't think they were going to be as consistent as they are. But at this point, they've proven it, and they've proven it through a long enough period of time where even someone like Andrew Vaughn, who was looked at as a nothing, you have to now be counting on him. Is he going to hit 600 with 4 home runs in this series? Probably not. But you can count on him at this point to be around a 300 hitter. Otherwise, you're in trouble.
Absolutely. Scott, have a good rest of your day. We'll see what happens in Game 1.
You too. Enjoy the game.
There he is, Scott Grodzki, CBS 58 on the Fan Guest Hotline powered by Gruber Law. 1 call. That's all. We got about 20 seconds left here. We'll come back. More leadoff show coming up on the other side. Sparky's down over at Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mountain. Go say hi, pick up some fan merch, some fan swag. I'm back in the studios powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Let's get ready for the NLCS Game 1, Brewers Cubs. It's coming up. We got 1 more hour of the leadoff show right after this.
counting down the minutes to the first pitch of today's game. Who's in the starting lineup?
Come on, son. You got to get out there and take the mound. It's game time.
What does the skipper have to say?
It's an attitude. Like you got to be willing to defend. You got to be willing to base run, or you can't play here.
It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook with Tommy Wortz on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Hour number 2, the leadoff show. We are just over an hour away from Brewers Dodgers. Game 1 of the NLCS. It'll be Aaron Ashby on the bump for Milwaukee, going up against Blake Snell for the Dodgers. Tommy Wortz here. Steve Sparky Fifer down at Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mound. Go down there still. Plenty of time. Catch a shuttle if you're going to the game. And make sure you pick up some awesome fan merch. Lineup in case you missed it earlier in the show.
Looking up, and it is gone.
It's almost time for the first pitch. Let's see who's in today's starting lineups. Brought to you by Lakeland University. Experience it your way. Visit lakeland.edu. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Do a full lineup again in case you're just tuning in 1 hour before first pitch. Shohei Ohtani to lead things off. He is the DH for Los Angeles. Mookie Betts at shortstop will bat second. Teoscar Hernandez in right field will bat third. Freddie Freeman is the first baseman batting fourth today. Will Smith, the catcher, will bat fifth. Tommy Edman at second base will bat sixth. Max Muncy, the third baseman, batting seventh today. And Enrique Kike Hernandez in left field will bat eighth. Andy Pajes in center field bats ninth for LA. Jackson Chourio is going to lead off for Milwaukee. He's in right field. Christian Yelich, the DH, will bat second. William Contreras is catching, batting third. Bryce Terang at second base bats fourth today. Andrew Vaughn at first base will bat fifth. Sal Frelick in center field bats sixth. Caleb Durbin at third base batting seventh. Isaac Collins in left field will bat eighth. Rounding things out, the shortstop batting ninth for the Brewers. It'll be Joey Ortiz. Bringing in our guys, Steve Sparky Fifer, who is at Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mountain. Thanks to our good friends over at Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. It's feeling really packed over there. I can hear the energy. I can feel it now, Sparky. NLCS, this is not just, okay, all you got to do is not lose to the Cubs. It is now, hey, how can you prove that you are one of the best teams in Major League Baseball? You are one series, 4 games away from a potential World Series appearance. The Brewers are here, baby, and it's all going down at Kelly's Bleachers right now, Sparky.
It is all going down here. And again, Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea, 100 calories, no bubbles, just deliciousness. Get you pre-gaming, right? You do a little pre-gaming before you head over to American Family Field. Literally a stone's throw here. You can walk over there from Kelly's Bleachers. You can take a shuttle over here from Kelly's Bleachers. Both would work to get over there from the game. This place is outstanding. And people come here, they hang out, and then they go over to the game. That's fine. But, man, you can come here to Kelly's Bleachers and watch the game if you don't have tickets to the game and have just as much fun as everybody else is having if they're heading over to the game. So, highly suggested. Great food, great drinks. Everybody's going to come back here and party after a Brewers win tonight. You'll be here waiting for them and have a great time, too.
Want to head over to the dugout for this segment here on the YouTube page, youtube.com/@thefanmilwaukee. If you want to be a part of the show, let's go with this one right here. Turner Tracy, who do you want to see have a good series versus the Dodgers and why? A position player and or pitcher. First of all, they're all going to have good series at this point to go and beat the Dodgers, right? The Dodgers are what the Yankees were all those years now in the modern era of baseball. They are the team to beat. They are the standard. They also spend more money than everyone else in order to get that. I think, Sparky, that you have to point to the top part of this order. Specifically, if we have to name someone, I'll go with Jackson Chourio, but we heard it from Scott Grotsky. This LA Dodgers team makes their living with that starting pitching. Blake Snell is paid more than every single Brewers pitcher combined this season. He's got game one, the top of the order, establishing that, you saw how important the first inning was in the NLDS every single game of that series against Chicago. Who are you looking at to have a big series against LA?
I think it all comes down to the guy making the most money because he didn't show up in the NLDS nearly as much as they needed him to. Christian Yelich needs to do something. Christian Yelich needs to play like a guy that hit 29 homers and 100-plus RBIs. Christian Yelich needs to be the guy that 9 out of 10 times with runners in scoring position delivers in the NLCS. This is on Christian Yelich to play like Christian Yelich has done most of the year, right? You've been babying Christian Yelich and having him in the DH spot to protect his back and make sure he stays healthy. He's got to show up and do something big in this series. He's got to be MVP type. Christian Yelich is what they need to see in the postseason here. You're paying him all this money. So now go do something and win this series for the Milwaukee Brewers. Yelich has to have a big series. If their best bat doesn't show up, it's going to be very, very hard for this Brewers offense to overcome.
And an interesting trend that was the case for the Brewers in 2025, when they scored first in the game, they were 69-23. They were 1-1 in the series against Chicago when they did that. When they scored second, when the opponents would score first, they were 28-42 all throughout the regular season. They were 2-1 in those games against Chicago. The first inning, I'm traumatized and more scared of the first inning than I am of anything else now for the Milwaukee Brewers, and you can thank the Chicago Cubs for that. Aaron Ashby, when he had the first inning in Game 2, it wasn't clean either. If he is clean in this first inning, do you think the plan is he will go 2-3 innings one time through this order, or they're going to just have a complete bullpen game from the beginning and bring out Priester maybe in inning number 2 if he gets clean in the first inning?
I think that first inning is huge. I don't think it has anything to do with what happened in the Cubs series. I'm just being realistic here. You do not want to put this Brewers offense in a hole 2-0, 3-0 in the first inning, because then what very well could happen? Human nature could take over. Now all of a sudden we're doing stuff that we haven't seen the Brewers do much all year. All of a sudden you're chasing pitchers because now you're pressing, because now you're trying to get all the runs back right away instead of just, chipping away at it throughout the game. You do not want to see them in a deficit after the first 3 outs. You want it to be zeros on the board for the Dodgers. Here come the Brewers with a chance to get on the board first. That is the best case scenario for the Brewers. Get up 1-0, get up 2-0, make the Dodgers chase you throughout the night while you're at home with hopefully a crowd that is raucous and loud and going crazy and chanting, "Go Brewers, go! Go Brewers, go!" That's what you want. You want that. You don't want to be silenced after a half of inning of play going into this thing. And then as far as Priester goes, as you were talking about, Murphy saying 71% chance he pitches, you don't want him coming into a game where you're down 3-0 and he has to take over. You want him to come into a game where he starts the second or third inning and pitches really well and is able to take it 4 innings, let's say 3 or 4 innings, and get to the high leverage relievers in the back end of this pen.
Q in the dugout as well. Quinn Priester, bounce back game loading. Dude's going to make the Dodgers wish they stayed home. It brings me into my next point here. The head-to-head throughout the season, we know that the Brewers were 6-0 against the Dodgers in 2025 in the regular season. However, some numbers to keep an eye on in this series. The Brewers put up 5.2 runs a game on the Dodgers in those 6 games, while LA put up just 2.7 runs a game. The home run total exactly the same, though. Each hit 6 homers in those 6 games. The big number that jumps off, the Brewers batted .274 in those 6 games as a team against the LA Dodgers, and the Dodgers batted .179 against Milwaukee in those 6 games. Sparky, the pitching going to be insanely important. It always is in the postseason, but I don't expect the Dodgers bats to be that quiet during this series at all, quite frankly.
No, and I think it's going to be hard for this Brewers offense. You didn't have to deal with Blake Snell. You're going to now, starting tonight. Yamamoto, okay, you had to deal with him before, but that's still not easy. Ohtani wasn't pitching at that point. He's going to start a game in this series, according to Dave Roberts, at some point. That's something else. As I said earlier today on Wisconsin Sports Daily, I'll say again, you want pitch counts high as possible, as early as possible. Make them throw strikes, these starters, because once you get into their bullpen, that's where people have been scoring runs, right? You want to be able to get 2, 3, 4 runs off of that bullpen, but it cannot be until the 8th inning. You can't have Snell throwing 7. You can't have Shohei Ohtani throwing 6 or 7 innings. You want to be into that bullpen by the 6th inning to give you 4 innings of to go at that bullpen and try and score some runs as soon as possible. I think that is the biggest thing. Nikolay Law Fan Talk and text line got some text coming in there as well. 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. Tommy, you're my guy. Go Crew. Let me call it right now. Yelly is the NLCS MVP. If not Churio, I literally have big money on Miz, though. The legend of Jacob Mizorowski begins this series.
I think it started already. Did it not start already in the NLDS? I mean, it can have maybe it doesn't have the fairy tale ending if things don't go the way they want to in the NLCS, but Jacob Mizorowski played a massive role in the NLDS for this Brewers team. You know, he put up 7 innings or 6 innings or whatever it was of just 1-run ball. He bounced back off of giving off that leadoff homer to Seiya Suzuki in his second appearance, and you cannot deny that place was electric when he was out on the mound, specifically at American Family Field. He might only be a weapon at American Family Field with his youth and inexperience on how emotional he is when he pitches, but the legend is just growing. It doesn't need to grow or form. It is growing already with what he did in the NLDS. Sparky, I wanted to bring that up. It's a great point with Jacob Mizorowski. Do you like the opening day roster versus what today is now for this Brewers team? You talked about how different the Dodgers looked in the regular season versus when the Brewers faced him the first time. This is the opening day roster for the Milwaukee Brewers of guys that are not on this roster right now, right? Tyler Alexander, Aaron Savali, Nestor Cortez, Brian Hudson, Joel Payamps, Elvis Peguero, Elvin Rodriguez. Could you imagine if the Brewers were to make a World Series run this year? And then the trivia question to end all trivia questions, the guy who started the home opener for the Milwaukee Brewers in 2025, Elvin Rodriguez. Do you remember that? Like, that's insane.
Nope.
That's the story.
I blacked out after the Yankee series. I don't remember April after that. I have no idea what happened. Something about torpedo bats and stuff. I remember that part of me screaming for the Brewers to buy torpedo bats for their team. Yeah.
It's not done. Connor Thomas, Eric Haas, Vinny Capra, Oliver Dunn, Reese Hoskins, Garrett Mitchell. Obviously, those guys at the back end, injury and not on the roster. But this team has had to manufacture and work their way around a roster all season long. And now they are here in the championship series, a chance to go to the World Series.
I want to go back to Mizorowski, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So this is my belief. I think we could put Jacob Mizorowski pitching against the Dodgers on the moon, Jupiter, Venus, L.A., in the streets of L.A., wiffle ball tournament. I don't care. This dude's clutch. I firmly believe that. I said that before. I think when the lights are the brightest and the pressure's on, this dude gets tough. And what happened was after he came out those first couple of starts and was dominant, not giving up hits, then he gets hit on this comebacker, which I thought deserved to be missing games for. But they missed games for because they were trying to protect his arm and his shoulder so he could pitch in the postseason. When he came back, there was no glitz. There was no glamour. There was not everybody looking at him. None of that. It was just another guy making a start. Now we get to the postseason. Guess what? Now everybody's watching. What's the kid got? Let's see. He feels the juice. He feels it, right? And guess what? He delivered twice. So if you're telling me that if Mizorowski goes and starts in L.A. in Game 3 or Game 4, I'm good. Let's go. Let's see what the kid has. Let's see what happens.
Would you rather?
Let's see if I'm right again. Because if that kid goes out there and delivers 5 or 6 strong innings and does it again, this time against the Dodgers, then it's just he's got to feel it, right? He's got to feel the juice. Now, I don't know what that'll mean for the regular season for this kid next year, but I think there is some clutch to him. I think there is some. The heart rate slows down and he gets going, and away we go at that point.
I don't know if the heart rate even slows down. He was touching over 104. It probably just gets more amped. It's probably even more nerves that goes into it. He just knows how to channel it a little more, and it works to his favor. I don't think it's a bad thing his heart rate goes up.
Or the speed gun was jacked up for TV purposes.
Oh,
regardless of what that was, it doesn't even matter.
Your guy, though. That's
he's my guy.
Yeah.
He's my guy. I don't know if I'm there at 104.
I
actually,
either way, I wanted to get to the
way.
dugout here because Turner popped in. I was going to bring it up to you, but Turner says Patrick, too, his confidence is building fast.
Yes.
If there was going to be a start between either Miz or Patrick, you're more confident in Miz, it sounds like?
I just think Miz has dominant stuff when he's right. Not saying Patrick couldn't give you 5 quality innings and give up 2 runs. I'm sure he absolutely could, no question. But who gives you the best chance to throw 6 shutout innings or 7 shutout innings? It's Mizorowski if he's right. And I'm good with Chad Patrick. If they started Chad Patrick, I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to be mad at Pat Murphy for starting Chad Patrick. I just think Mizorowski's got something in big moments to deliver, and he loves it. He eats it up. He thrives on it. And now we're in those moments. Let the kid eat. Let him go do his thing, and let's see what happens. But I'm all for Chad Patrick too. That is absolutely, positively the case.
It is the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here with you. Steve Sparky Fifer down at Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mound. Thanks to our good friends over at Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Baseball calls for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea, made with real iced tea and real vodka. It's refreshingly smooth, easy to drink, no bubbles to fill you up. It is the perfect game day sipper. Plus, each Sun Cruiser only 100 calories and 4.5% alcohol, making it perfect for anywhere your watch party takes you. Crack one open today and let the good times cruise Milwaukee. Sparky, if you were a betting man, and we're going to talk to Austin Herdina over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook coming up on the other side. Game 3, then, knowing Ashby is opening, knowing that Priester is probably going to be the first man out of this pen, and knowing that Freddie Peralta is the Game 2 guy, do you think that the results of Game 1 and 2 dictate who's going to be the pitcher in Game 3? And who is your prediction for Game 3, first game in LA then?
The one thing I will say about Pat Murphy is, even though this team isn't nearly as aggressive in the postseason, stealing bases, taking the extra bases, all that stuff, haven't seen nearly as much of that in the postseason so far as we did in the regular season. I said that earlier. That has to change. The Brewers have to play like the Brewers play in order to get this series. They just do. We can't change identity now and try and rely on the long ball. Having said that, the one thing that has not changed, Pat Murphy, what makes him so good as a regular season manager and why they win so many games, because he does not give a damn about the next day. All Pat Murphy cares about is that day and winning that game. That's all he cares about. Bullpen, I don't care about that. I'll worry about that tomorrow. I want to win this game, and I'll do whatever I have to win this game. That's how he pitched in the last round. When Priester got blown up, everybody thought Quintana was going to get the next start. He said, nope, don't have time for this. I need to get Quintana out there to keep us in this game and try and win this game. So, yes, I do think results kind of dictate this. If Peralta pitches 5 or 6 and they don't have to use Quintana, I think Jose Quintana is going to be the starter in Game 3. I do. And then I think, depending on what is there, if this series is 2-1 Brewers or 2-1 Dodgers, I think then Mizorowski gets that start in Game 4. However, if this is 3-0 Dodgers, something like that, if they're up and trying to clinch, I don't think Pat Murphy will put Mizorowski in that position to go out there and do that. Then I think it's Ashby, bullpen a game again, and try and get through it using everybody. But if it's a non-clinch game, I think Mizorowski gets the starting Game 4.
It is the leadoff show. Steve Sparky Fifer over at Kelly's Bleachers. I'm back in the studios powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We'll talk to Austin Herdina over from Potawatomi Sportsbook Manager on the other side if you want to get any good bets, if you want to get some action on NLCS Game 1, Brewers, Dodgers. It is close. It is about 45 minutes away or so here. Austin Herdina is up next here on the leadoff show.
See you later.
Let's get the latest on today's odds for the game. What's the best way to go? Let's check in with our expert from the Potawatomi Sportsbook to find out. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM. The Fan.
It is the Leadoff Show. Tommy Wortz here with you. Steve Sparky Fifer out at Kelly's Bleachers joining us as well. Before we get over to our guy Austin Herdina at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, Brewers lineup in case you missed it. Jackson Churio in right field to lead things off. Christian Yelich, the DH, will bat second. William Contreras is catching, batting third. Bryce Terang at second base will bat fourth today. Andrew Vaughn at first base bats fifth. Sal Frelick in center field will bat sixth. Caleb Durbin, the third baseman, batting seventh. Isaac Collins in left field bats eighth. Joey Ortiz rounds things out. He is the shortstop, batting ninth. Joining us now on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law, sportsbook manager over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, joins Mr. Fifer every Friday as well for Follow the Money. He's on the Leadoff Show every day before that, just until you guys tried to steal him from me. Austin Herdina joining us here. Austin, how are we doing tonight, my man?
Oh, great, man. We got Brewers NLCS Game 1. I can't wait.
Cannot wait. The DS worked out awesome. Now the CS here, Austin. How you feeling about Brewers Dodgers?
I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, I don't feel like I have much reason to worry. I mean, the team feels good. They're ready to go. You know,
Hold on. Hold the phone, Austin Herdina. Just 1 second. I want to know who I'm talking to. Am I talking to Austin Herdina, a Brewers fan, or am I talking to Austin Herdina, a Potawatomi Sportsbook manager that is in line to have a bath if the Brewers win this whole thing? Like, who are we feeling? Which one am I talking to right now?
You're talking to Austin Herdina, both. I am both at all times.
Both at all times. I love that. Austin Herdina, been a great to have you on all Leadoff Show, and now you're with Steve Sparky Fifer every Friday, 4:40, right, Mr. Fifer, for Follow the Money every week?
Yes, yeah, 4:40.
Doing a great job
all through the football season.
Great job over there as well. Looking at the betting odds today, courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Brewers underdogs in game one, -150 to the Dodgers, +130 if you're betting Milwaukee. The run line of +1.5 for Milwaukee is minus odds at -136. And the over-under, that number, 7.5. Here it is. Now, I will say, Austin, the over-under was 7.5 for game 5, and the under did hit. So the first time in a while, it feels like. But 7.5, what other number would we like to see here other than 7.5 for the over-under in game 1? But what are your odds you're looking at today that you like to get a nice little parlay for the people going for NLCS game 1?
So I'm still feeling confident in the Brewers. And looking at +1.5 at only -136, I feel like that's good value. Yeah, you can take the money line, but just in case it's a close game, comes down to the wire, and we fall just short, +1.5, it's just good value at -136. And then I also like under 2.5 in the first 3 innings. None of the guys in the lineup, all 18 guys in the lineup, have not seen either of these two pitchers this year. I think that, Snell is obviously a fantastic pitcher. The way that we're going with the bullpen game makes me feel like we're going to be able to hopefully shut them down early in the game. So under 2.5. And then Christian Yelich should get a hit just at any point in the game. He's in the 2 spot tonight. I just feel like he's going to come through. He's our captain. He's our guy. So, yeah, +1.5, under 2.5 first 3 innings. Yelich should get a hit, +360 on the parlay.
Full circle on this parlay, +360, courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. You got to go under the innings tab if you want to go get that under 2.5 on the Potawatomi Sportsbook website. A fantastic, super easy to use website. Clicking all of those options together does the math for you on the side. +360 of Brewers, +1.5, the under of 2.5 in the first 3 innings, and Christian Yelich to record a hit. Austin Herdina over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook joining us here. Mr. Fifer, you got something for him?
If he's right, and he normally is, if that score is low after 3 innings, if it's 1-0, 0-0, 1-1, 2-1, something like that, that's advantage Milwaukee Brewers.
I agree.
Because that means they're 3 innings in and closer to that bullpen. And if this game is close when that Dodgers bullpen comes in, I feel good about the Brewers winning this game, Austin.
I completely agree with you. Austin?
I agree. I mean, that's what I'm looking for. I think that, it's just going to be great. I think it's unprecedented how many runs were scored early in the game against the Cubs, right? It's hard to continue that high runs early in the game streak. So I like the under in this one. I know you like your over 7.5, but if I had to pick the total for the whole game, I'd go under as well.
Austin, what else is going on over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook that people need to know about? I know there was a Packer game yesterday. They were able to get the victory, and you got a whole bunch of other events coming up over at Potawatomi.
Yeah, great show. Great showing for the Packers yesterday. I know it wasn't, they didn't cover the spread, but it was still a 9-point win. We got to take it when we can. We're the only team in the NFL this year that's had a double-digit lead in every game, which is pretty remarkable. Also, yeah, we got two Monday night football games tonight, Thursday night football coming up. Obviously, Brewers tonight, Brewers again tomorrow. If you guys want to reserve seating in the sportsbook, if you don't have tickets, go to Potawatomi.com, click on sportsbook and reservations, and you'll see the listings for tonight and tomorrow night.
Awesome.
So come to the sportsbook. Have a nice time.
Sounds good. Austin, thank you so much for popping on. We'll do it again tomorrow. And, of course, go Brewers.
Go Brewers.
There he is, Austin Herdina on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. I can't say this enough to you that I am so glad you stuck me with Austin Herdina over there at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. I'm sure they would have gave me anyone who would have been awesome, but every day to get to talk to this guy who is Mr. Positivity and always correct, like, you can't beat that combo right now, Sparky.
What do you mean? You get that every day 2 to 5. What do you mean?
With Charlie? I heard someone in the crowd laugh. I heard someone else laugh.
Peacock.
Yeah,
Peacock was laughing.
No
That's
way.
Who it was.
Yeah, that was the exact opposite of what you were going for right there. Your face is bright red right now. Like the
it was funny. It was a good joke.
It was a good joke for sure. Let's get to some of what Pat Murphy had to say here. He spoke to the media earlier today as well. He had a couple of good lines in there talking about his process. You'll hear the percentage change on Quinn Priester that we've been talking about as well. But getting ready for Brewers-Dodgers Game 1, here is Pat Murphy earlier today.
Murph, to the game, I mean, now that the team you're playing isn't 90 miles away, what kind of atmosphere are you expecting tonight? And how much does the fan interaction actually impact the game?
Well, like I said, I was really, really like shocked when we went to Wrigley, how impactful that was, I thought, on the game. I thought they were incredible. Now, I'm not taking a shot at our fans because I get to see that all the time, and they do make a difference. This season, the fans have made a difference. There's no question, and that's important. But seeing what I saw in Wrigley Field, that was an incredible environment, home field environment. And then you throw in the wind and the ivy and the brick wall and the basket and just how tough it is. It's right on top of you, and it's a tough place to play. Tough place to play. So, yeah, the environments matter. And what am I expecting tonight? I expect our fans to show up, and everybody wants to see the Dodgers play. They're, have some of the biggest stars in the game, and really, I mean, some of the biggest stars in the game. And look at this room. This room, not too many seats open. So, if it was the Brewers and Biloxi Shuckers, you wouldn't have a full room. You know what I mean? So the Dodgers bring it. Where's Mario been?
Let's go to Steve, second row.
Hey, Steve.
Hey. When Abner was in here, he was talking about one of the differences when he was hurt last year and the stuff he went through. He kind of learned to become a more disciplined pitcher. What's the difference you've seen in him now versus maybe last year, a couple of years ago?
Yeah, I think Abner has realized, I think he has matured, but I think he realizes we love him. You know what I mean? And I think for some people, it's hard to accept that love. You know what I mean? And he realizes this team loves me, needs me, and accepts me. With all my antics or whatever it is, they love me, they accept me, they need me. That's a great place to be, like where you have great worth with your team and you have value. God, it's a great feeling, man. And I want that for our players to know that all of them have that place and value. That's kind of cool, especially when these players haven't played for a long time. So it adds to the fabric. Great question, and by the way, Steve, your best of the year. I think. I'm not trying to be. I don't know how to evaluate because I don't really know.
Let's go to Jesse.
Thought I'd say it.
Far right in the third row. Hey, Murph.
Hey, Jess.
I know Ashby can go more than one inning, but in general, is there something you like or the organization has begun to like about an opener besides getting through the first inning? In other words, taking pressure off a young starter like Priester or Mizorowski. Is there something you've kind of grown into liking about it?
Yeah, I mean, one is it makes the other team make a choice. Do you want to bat those guys there? And we're going to get, a leverage matchup early on. It's important. You saw what the first inning meant to the series, last series. But I do think there's also a little softer landing for a rookie pitcher. I'm not sure those factors are that big, but it's basically now the starter may not, the true starter may not have to face those, opposite hand sluggers more than twice, because we all know the number's about 3 times around. But it's case by case. You remember the game that this kid threw in Tampa? They took him out, whatever. I mean? It's none of my business. I wasn't in on it, so I don't know all the particulars. But I remember watching that game, and I remember watching the other dugout. When they took this kid out, everybody went, thank God. I don't care who else is coming in, So, there's something to it.
Let's go to Kurt in the third row. Murph, on some of the roster decisions, starting with Mears and Myers, is Mears healthy? Was it just a matter of getting length and matchups out of Myers?
First of all, Mears is off and Myers is on. Mears has been unbelievable for us this year. He's been that get out of a jam guy, but he's really been most effective when used in small spurts. We're in a 7-game series now, and we basically have 1.5 starters, available, or maybe a total of 2 starters available as far as length and where they are right now in the season. So with that, we've got to look for more length. Most people drop the position player and add another pitcher. We chose not to for particular reasons, and then gain some more length out of that.
And then on the left-handed side, just the decision to stick with Gasser instead of Rob Z and DL as the other options there.
Yeah, those are all big discussions. Rob Z, again, short increments, right? They're not going to they go 1-4-7 with their deal. We've done that all year, right? 1-4-7 with our 3 lefties. So they do 1-4-7 mostly. So the Rob Z thing, you're going to get 2 bad matchups. And if they were to ever hit for Muncie, you might get 0 matchups. So that was that. Any short, and I don't mean short, I mean, he's a 1-inning guy. All right. Whereas Gasser and DL Hall can extend. Gasser especially can get out to 55, 60 pitches. DL hasn't been stretched out that far recently. And we made a decision to go with Gasser.
Adam, second row.
Murph, on a scale of 0% to 100%, would you share with us the odds?
You love this inside information. You'd love it. I mean, we should just have you in the office and just give you all our forms so you can be part of the whole thing.
Great.
Well, jump in there.
The odds Priester pitches tonight for what that would mean for the rest of the series. His availability.
I think the odds of Priester throwing today is about 73%.
Let's go to Jack.
71%.
Row in the middle. Murph, when you guys are
sport coach,
went really fancy today.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. Why not last week?
Do you like it?
I didn't see the whole ensemble. You know what I mean? Why don't you get up?
It's not too crazy.
Up,
I got to stand up.
Jack.
Do you want me to turn around too?
We got jeans on?
No.
Those are like pants or sweats?
They're like.
Oh, you got a belt on. You got a belt on.
Like dress pants, yeah.
Nice, Jack. I like it.
Those are not dress pants.
They're not?
I consider
Girl, I
them
love you
dressy
calling them
enough.
out just like that. That's so beautiful. Those are like work pants, right? Hang around in the house. Oh, now you're taking shots at Milwaukee. See the riffraff you bring with you, you know what I'm saying? You bring a couple of New Yorkers in here and you got riffraff calling out other people. This nice woman was just trying to give him some fashion tips for his future. How old are you, Jack?
23.
You just helped this guy. You know what I'm saying?
I can take that with me now. Thank you. What was my question?
I shook you up a little bit. I get it.
When you guys are making the decision to roll the lefty out against some of those guys at the top as an opener, what is it about Ashby specifically that has made him that best fit for you guys, or makes you think he's that best fit over some other lefties like Koenig or Gasser?
Yeah. It's good. It's a great question too. Ashby's done it. He's done it recently. I think he gives. I like Koenig more at the end, his versatility, even his length. Really, Ash has been used a lot. So, do we go Ash one inning, or do we go through Muncy? You know, that's the other thought. So I don't know. Is Ash better against righties? A little bit with the sinker, and who knows?
There is the manager, Pat Murphy, speaking to the media earlier today. Jack Stern, dude, he wants to wear his work pants and call them dress pants. Let him wear work pants. Call them dress
That's
pants,
correct.
man. Like,
Yes.
you know,
Always making fun of people. Always making fun of people. Does not matter who you are not going to escape the wrath of Pat Murphy when he decides to poke fun and have fun. But you know what? If he's not poking fun and having fun, means he probably don't like you or doesn't know you. So
right.
It's all in good fun, and these guys all get it.
We will talk to Mitch Thunder Nellis, who is at American Family Field. On the other side, it is the leadoff show. Sparky down at Kelly's Bleachers. Still got a chance to go say hi and check it out over there. I'm back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Let's get to Thunder right after this.
Looking up, and it is gone.
It's almost time for the first pitch. Let's see who's in today's starting lineups. Brought to you by Lakeland University. Experience it your way. Visit lakeland.edu. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Welcome back to the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz, Steve Sparky Fifer down at Kelly's Bleachers. Thanks to our good friends over at Sun Cruiser Vodka. Brewers lineup one more time before we get over to Thunder. Jackson Churio in right field to lead things off. Christian Yelich, the DH, will bat second. William Contreras is catching, batting third. Batting fourth, Bryce Terang at second base. Batting fifth, Andrew Vaughn at first base. Sal Frelick will play center field and bat sixth. Caleb Durbin at third will bat seventh today. Isaac Collins in left field bats eighth. Rounding things out, Joey Ortiz, the shortstop for the Milwaukee Brewers. And joining us now on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. You can hear him every day, whether he's on from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. like he has been with Josh Albrecht. He's also a part of the Mason Crosby Show from noon to 2. Mitch Thunder Nellis joining us here. How we doing, Thunder?
We're doing great. I'm actually watching. So Ashby and Snell are both throwing long toss on the field, and they're doing the big flag for the national anthem. So there's like 100 Brewers fans holding this flag that's in a row, and they literally just interrupted the Blake Snell throwing, and it's amazing. So hopefully this throws him off his game, and he will be a mess for the rest of the evening, because it was like out of nowhere, a line of 100 people in between Blake and the guy he's playing catch with. It was great.
Yes, and the Brewers didn't have to face Blake Snell. They're going to have to go up against the lefty who's been having a great postseason so far. Brewers lineup very similar to how they were in game 1, 2, and 5. The only change, Blake Perkins out, Isaac Collins in. What's your level at for this Milwaukee Brewers team in game 1, specifically on the confidence that you have for them against the Dodgers in game 1?
I mean, I think it should be the same confidence we have for the Brewers in any game. The Brewers just find a way. If the Brewers play their game and they make the Dodgers play baseball, I just like what the Brewers do. I'm interested to see what Isaac Collins brings. I think he's obviously earned this spot and earned this start by what he did this year. But certainly since he came back from paternity leave, he has not been the same player. So the question is, can he jumpstart this team a little bit? Can he get back into the groove when he was one of the favorites for Rookie of the Year, which was a great place to be in? And you mentioned it. They haven't faced Snell this year. They've seen him in the past. Blake Snell's really, really good. And he had he pitched 2 starts. Then he was out for 3 months or so, maybe 4 months, and then had a great 2 months to end the season, has pitched well in the playoffs. He's really good. Again, Jackson Churio leading off could set the tone right away against Blake Snell. I wouldn't be surprised to see that.
Thunder down at American Family Field. Steve Sparky Fifer at Kelly's Bleachers. Mr. Fifer, what do you think of those comments of Jackson Churio also having to be that guy early, or could be that guy early? Are these expectations too high for a 21-year-old, or you think he's earned these stripes now already here, Mr. Fifer?
Yeah, if he was healthy, I would get down with all this conversation. I'm not there yet. So until I see him run full go, I'm not there. I still think what I said earlier is to be true. You're paying Christian Yelich the most money. Christian Yelich has been your best hitter, power, RBIs, everything else this year. He needs to act like it in the NLCS. He did not act like it in the NLDS. He must step up. When there's runners in scoring position, he has to deliver 9 out of every 10 times. This cannot be, I delivered once in game 1, and then we didn't see it again the rest of the series. Christian Yelich has to be that guy. I want to throw something out there because it's annoying me. Tyrese Halliburton of the Indiana Pacers. The Pacers are at home tonight. Tyrese Halliburton comes walking out courtside. He's not playing in the game at home for the Pacers tonight. I think they're playing San Antonio, wearing a Dodgers jersey and Dodgers cap for that Pacers home game. And obviously, he just continues to troll Milwaukee. So, again, do what you got to do.
Mitch Nellis, Tyrese Halliburton, we don't claim him anymore, I guess, now here.
No, absolutely we do not. He is dead to us. His dad made that very clear in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
He wants to be anti-Milwaukee. He thrives on being anti-Milwaukee. And listen, that's who he is now. And we need to embrace that he is not one of us. He is not a Wisconsinite. He is not part of our crew. One other thing I wanted to mention is walking through the stadium, man, it sure feels nice to see, a smattering of Dodgers jerseys here and there, but not walk through a stadium full of the other team's jerseys. And yeah, it was 75-25 or whatever it was, but 25% is still 11,000 people wearing Cubs jerseys here throughout the Cubs series. It sure is nice to just have Brewers fans in the house.
Mitch, before we get you out of here, we're going to hit keys to the game after this. If the Brewers come out successful today, what went well for Milwaukee?
I feel like I answer this exactly the same every time. They just got to play their game. Don't get awed by the moment. Don't let the young guys get too big stars in their eyes. Don't let, you can't hit a 7-run home run. And a lot of these guys can't even hit a home run if you were to listen to the national media. Just play the way they play the game. Take the extra base, steal the base, play great defense, and good things happen.
Thunder, thank you so much for popping on. Have a good rest of your night, my friend. And, of course, go Brewers.
Let's go, Crew.
There he is, Mitch Thunder Nellis, joining us on the Fan Guest Hotline powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all.
How does the Crew win today's game? Who needs to step up? Let's find out with the keys to the game. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Keys to the game, how we always wrap things up. Mr. Fifer, I'm saying it's the first inning. They need a 0 in the first from the Dodgers. They need a 1 or more from the Brewers. What is your key to the game?
I think for the Brewers, it is to get Blake Snell out of that game no later than the 5th inning and still be in the game. Down 1 or up 1 or 2, somewhere in that area. Worst case scenario, Snell pitches into the 7th and the Dodgers are up 6-0. That cannot be. You need to be in that bullpen by the 6th inning tonight.
Mr. Fifer, thank you so much for joining us from Kelly's Bleachers. You have a good rest of your night and have a safe drive home, my friend.
Kind of disappointed you're not wearing a Brewer hat or a Brewer shirt today, Tommy.
I've done that. You've been disappointed when I didn't wear Packer stuff too. I don't get into it like that whenever I don't have to, right? I mean, it's not because I'm wearing a shirt they're going to play better. All right? If it makes you even feel any better, I got more Packers underneath there. It's whatever. Like, they're going to do their thing, and I wore an Aaron Ashby jersey, and then he proceeded to blow the game. So,
well, good thing you didn't do that then. That's good.
Exactly.
Thank you for not wearing it again.
That's going to do it for us here at The Fan. Make sure you guys are checking out all your favorite local programming now from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. every weekday here on The Fan. Brewers, Cubs, Brewers, Dodgers. No, geez. NLCS Game 1 coming up next. Thank you, Mr. Fifer. It has been the Leadoff Show. Tommy Wortz here with you. We'll see you tomorrow, Milwaukee. Don't forget, send them home.